From fire accidents to near drowning to car crashes, rescue missions, and even at the war front, human lives have been preserved essentially by the heroic interventions of these canines. If you've never experienced canine courage firsthand, the following are mind blowing stories you shouldn't miss out on, where dogs transformed into furry heroes and ultimately saved the day. Number 1. A Rottweiler rescues her paraplegic owner from a burning vehicle. Kathy Vaughn set off that fateful day headed towards Atlanta for an antique show in her brand new van and her dog, Eve, alongside. It was a smooth ride until she heard a strange sound from the engine of her van as it suddenly began to smoke out. She immediately parked by the roadside and began a struggle to escape. Kathy, who was paralyzed from the waist down, realized the depth of danger, so she pushed Eve out the door first while she struggled to assemble her wheelchair. As she was busy with this, the fumes grew thicker, driving her gradually into losing consciousness. In the midst of this, Eve obstinately refused to make the run. She wasn't going to leave her owner drowning in smoke. So she acted fast. Kathy reported that as she was losing consciousness, she felt the jaws of her dog grabbing her by the leg. Eve pulled her out the door and dragged her 20 feet away from the van, saving her from the blast that took place seconds after. Help came shortly after the van went off in flames. Kathy was then assisted to the hospital in the company of her dog. Kathy lost her vehicle and loads of antiques to the flames, but till this day owes the preservation of her life to her Rottweiler Eve. Number 2. Tracker, the hero dog that found the last survivor of the 9/11 attack. Tracker was a trained German Shepherd police dog who joined the Halifax Regional Police in 1995 and worked for this department for 6 years. Some of his accomplishments included finding missing people, assisting in the arrest of tons of criminals, and sniffing out over $1 million worth of contraband. After the 9/11 attack, Tracker and his owner arrived at Ground Zero, and with a team of other rescue workers, combed the rumble in search of survivors. It was reported that around 7 a.m. on the 12th of September, Tracker picked up a human scent from underneath a pile and alerted the other workers, who proceeded to dig out that area and were successfully able to pull out a lady, Janelle Guzman. She was the last of the 20 survivors and had been stuck under the pile for more than 26 hours. It was indeed a miracle. Tracker was named one of history's most heroic animals by Time magazine, and for the record, set a high standard for German Shepherd dogs. Tracker died in April 2009 at age 16. Following this, Tracker's former owner, James Symington, won the Golden Clone Giveaway competition, in which Tracker's DNA was cloned, producing 5 puppies with striking resemblance to Tracker. Tracker's memory continues to live in the hearts of many, especially the blast survivor, Janelle Guzman. Number 3. Service dog saves her blind owner from a house fire. Maria lost her eyesight in the early 1990s, after which she moved into her Philadelphia home, where she adopted a service dog named Yolanda. Before the fire event, Yolanda was reported to have saved Maria on several other occasions, including a time in 2014 where she made a rescue call after her owner had a tragic fall and was knocked unconscious. On the morning of that day, Maria was reported to be sleeping when she suddenly woke up to the smell of smoke choking her lungs. Maria, who happens to be blind, was thrown into panic. At that moment, it was a struggle between finding a safe exit and gasping in the little oxygen left in the room. She made a frantic call, screaming "danger," which was an emergency word she had trained Yolanda with for times like this. Yolanda recognized the signal and in split seconds dashed towards the specialized phone to dial 911, calling the police. Afterward, she dragged Maria out of the house as the fire department arrived shortly to put out the fire. Maria was taken to the hospital where she was treated for smoke inhalation, same as Yolanda, who also suffered corneal irritation. Both made speedy recoveries and were later reunited. Number 4. Cheyenne stopped a suicide attempt by her veteran owner. Former senior airman David Sharp suffered from an undiagnosed post-traumatic disorder and depression. David Sharp served as a security forces airman. After his deployment to Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, Sharp said he experienced traumatic events that changed his life forever. Thereafter, he suffered frequent nightmares and visions that conformed as a constant reminder of the events. Cheyenne, his adopted pit bull, served as his companion while his mind struggled to stay sane and his body alive day after day. During one of his episodes of outburst, Sharp sat on the kitchen floor with a handgun, and according to him, he was ready to finish off the long-drawn fight. Then suddenly, the pit bull interrupted, running up to Sharp and licking his ear. "This made me laugh," he reported, and at that moment it clicked to him that he had reasons to stay alive, and if not for anything else, but his adorable pit bull, Cheyenne. A few months down the line, Sharp founded a program which provided companion animals to veterans. He called it Pets to Vets. Although it's a one-of-a-kind battle, this program helped to match a good number of veterans with shelter animals. Sharp's condition greatly improved. He was later diagnosed and commenced treatment for his PTSD, got married to his present wife, and gained enough courage to share his story with the world. Number 5. Pickles fought off a bear to save a family. It was 6 a.m. early in the morning. Tiffany opened the doors of her home to let out her little poodle, Pickles, the family dog, on his usual walk. She left the entrance door open because, according to her, the environment was unsuspecting. Unknown to her, a 150-pound bear was laying wait and within seconds hauled into her house as though it had it planned out. Tiffany screamed as she tried to protect her children while facing an attack from the fierce beast. It was at this moment the little poodle rushed into the house and gained the bear's attention, distracting it from Tiffany and the kids. Pickles managed to take the fight outside, making sure the rest of the family were safe indoors. Unfortunately, Pickles was overpowered by the bear and sustained multiple injuries, after which the bear ran off into the woods. Pickles was taken to an emergency vet clinic, but it turned out that he had given off all his fight tackling the bear, and consequently succumbed to his wounds. This courageous act by this little poodle garnered a lot of compassion from people and had everyone talking. It was indeed a selfless service to mankind, and if there did exist a ranking system for dogs, Pickles would be getting 5 paws. Number 6. The heroic military dog who saved soldiers in Afghanistan. Laika, a Belgianese Malinois, put her life on the line while trying to save 15 American soldiers in Afghanistan. During a shuffle, Laika made a heroic run on the battlefield, and while trying to subdue an enemy, she was shot 4 times. However, her courageous intervention was just in time to save the lives of 15 soldiers and enough window period for one of the soldiers to take the enemy down. Unfortunately, she lost one of her front legs due to injuries sustained from the AK bullets. In a bid to pay her back, she was given a second chance to live. A fundraiser with a good number of the soldiers she saved being the major contributors got her a prosthetic leg. Laika was still able to make runs and jumps after recovery, not until a few years down the line when she sustained another injury to her second front paw after a bad ATV jump, leaving her in critical condition. Although she got full support from the same soldiers, she was made to retire and live a calmer life, considering her great service to the force. With a missing limb and a compromised paw injury, Laika earned the respect of the entire force team and the United States of America. So there you have it. Norman, the courageous Labrador retriever who did not let his blindness get in the way of this fearsome rescue. Dogs have made countless attempts to save human lives, and this is not only subjected to their owners, but also friends, their neighbors, and even complete strangers. They don't think twice before putting their lives on the line, just to make sure people make it out of dangerous situations. And that is why Josh Billings, a humorist, stated that a dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. All dogs should be protected at all cost because their dying instinct to protect, rescue, and save remains unmatched. With a response time better than 911, they will stand in the face of adversity and get the job done.